The cities of Hays and Russell have filed a motion hoping to compel action by the Kansas Water Transfer Hearing Panel to rule in the R9 water project. I'm Becky Kaiser, Hays Post-Eagle Radio News, and I'm talking with Hays Mayor Mason Reuter and Deputy City Manager Colin Belzer about the August 27th City Commission meeting. It's all on this episode of the Hays Post podcast. There were three items that were pulled together that are general obligation bonds for infrastructure in both cases, for Tallgrass Phase 4, the housing development in East Hays, and also Exit 161 on I-70. Tell us a little bit about what does infrastructure include? What is the city responsible for there?
So, I mean, a lot of these are done as part of like a partnership between, us and Grow Hays or other development, just to provide water, sewer, streets, kind of getting everything prepared for 161, hopeful retail development, for Tallgrass, more housing. It's just a lot of exciting development going on because we actually have things that are going to go in these areas that are going to provide, economic benefit and housing.
And Colin, the gentleman, Mr. Atterbury, our bond counsel, talked last night. He was here as well in person talking about, I guess actually it was last week we found out that the city got its Standard & Poor rating again of AA, which is really good for the city of the size in Kansas.
Yeah, David Atterbury, our financial advisor on these things, made the comment that that's probably the best in Kansas outside of the KC metro area for our size of community. So, credit to the commission and the good job that they do ensuring that we live within our means and we're putting money aside so we don't have to have a big debt burden. So it's very minimal compared to a lot of places.
And it's a lengthy process, Mason, that we've gone through to do this. I believe Mr. Atterbury said this was the fourth and final phase of getting through this process for the general obligation bonds. We talked about the infrastructure and housing for Tallgrass Phase 4 and Exit 161. As you mentioned, that the city is invested in that, owns the property there, and is hoping to not only have some housing, but some retail development at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was something that was purchased by the City Commission back in 2018, I believe. So it was before I was on, but it's been something we've been working with Grow Hays on. Received an economic development grant from the state to provide the, a grant to help cover the cost of that infrastructure. Went through the rezoning process, I believe here at the end of the month, the end of September, we'll probably have it named, possibly. So, that'll be nice. So it'll have, water, sewer, street ready to go, and then lots ready to sell to any retailers that want to start Vine Street Part 2 is what I'll call it for right now.
I was just going to ask. That's really exciting because we're talking about development north of the interstate to the north, and that's an area that has gotten a lot of attention and interest. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's a perfect location for any retailer that wants to go right there. I mean, it's right off the interstate. Paved roads exist already. And then they're just going to have to put their lot in and build their things. Everything else will be ready to go. Where a lot of development, that we've seen in the past, has to extend services, extend roads. This is going to be ready to go. I mean, these are going to be build-ready sites. It's going to be wonderful.
Another thing that was approved last night by the commission, Colin, was an upgrade to the Parks Department HVAC system, heating, plumbing, and air conditioning. That bid went locally to Worth Heating, Plumbing, and AC. And it was actually a bid that the entire process was smaller than originally thought because at least the other project turned out to be bigger than initially thought.
Yeah, so upgrading some of the city's facilities for HVAC has been in the queue for some time. The Public Works building, for instance, has some infrastructure from 1993 with refrigerant that they don't make anymore. City Hall, 1999 renovation, some of that equipment.
And it needs a new roof, I understand.
Yeah, we've had 7 leaks in the last 2 years, and that's one thing. If we can combine an HVAC project with a roof replacement, that limits disruption. But we've had some transition at the city, and we evaluated the current projects we have going on and future projects, and we just need to step back from the bigger buildings, which have been City Hall and Public Works, and we'll look at those next year.
All right. Another thing that was talked about, this was in the progress report that column that you gave, but Mason, I wanted to ask you because I know near and dear to your family, the Sunrise Park and there actually was a ribbon cutting yesterday. We've had stories on this morning on Hayes Post about the ribbon cutting. And it's important to note that Women Who Lead, of course, we would say took the lead in this project, but it's been very much a group effort.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's, one of those things that the community had a vision, and a group like Women Who Lead who just do so many wonderful things. I mean, and I know we talked about it. I talk about it with my mom a lot, who's on the Women Who Lead, and they, as soon as they put their mind to something, it's kind of hard to, hold them back. And the partnership between them and Jeff Boyle worked out really, really well to find like the perfect opportunity for, new equipment, different equipment that serves a different, style of playground equipment for the children. And it is beautiful. It went in, and the community came together and took care of this. So it was a great effort by everybody.
And I think you got to test out some of that new playground equipment.
I did. Right when it opened, I got to go down the big tornado slide.
What'd you think?
That'll probably be the only time I will go down it. But you know what? It held me, and it worked out really well. I know I saw a few people yesterday after the ribbon cutting, some adults going on the zip line. So it is ready to go for any children of all ages.
Absolutely. And I understand there's the disc golf course, which has already been rated nationally, I think.
It's top 50 in the world.
Oh, in the world.
In
wow.
the world.
That's fantastic.
So it is a great course. My grandparents live over there, and they say they see people there all the time playing disc golf. It's a beautiful area, and it's nice to see it, have this renaissance of growing and looking beautiful and being utilized again. So it's a testament to our community wanting to have things that are, good for everybody.
Colin, another thing that you brought up during the progress report was a reminder that we had our main runway reconstructed at Hayes Regional Airport, and there's still a little bit of work going on with the Crosswind runway.
Yep. So it was a Crosswind runway project, but it intersects the main runway. So that's why for about 21 days, the main runway had to be shut down so they could put new pavement in that area. The contractor, that was what the contract said, was 21-day closure. They got it done in 21 days. And then what was also nice is while it was shut down, the main runway, our city crews went ahead and repainted all the striping on the main runway. And that, according to our airport director, that cost us $15,000 to do in-house. But if we went out to bid and got a contractor, it would have been about $300,000. So FAA projects are expensive.
Yes. We've talked about this, and you've talked about it before, that this is important to the future of Hayes because SkyWest, which is our service provider now, is talking about going to bigger planes, and Hayes probably will be part of that plan.
Yeah, they're starting to roll out larger planes, same number of seats. They're just going to be a little more spacious, which is nice as someone that's flown on them. But they're starting to roll those out in other communities. They've actually contacted us to basically, we had to restripe where the plane parks when it comes in for that. It is anticipation. We haven't been told that it's coming anytime soon, but clearly they're trying to make plans for their whole fleet. So we expect a bigger plane to happen.
How are the boardings out at the airport?
Obviously August was a bit down because we were closed for 21 days.
Sure.
But before that, we were trending on what we did last year, which was our best year ever. I think we had about 17,000 flights last year. So even with some economy things happening, we haven't seen really a huge decrease yet.
Mason, we also wanted to talk about, there was an update and some pictures of the new police station, which is across the street from where they are now, and they'll be in their own facility along with the municipal court. Tell us a little bit about that project.
That is a project that was, it's actually been a long time coming, because from what I understand, back in, was it the 50s, I think it was, when we kind of shared the space with the county, that was supposed to be a temporary move.
Oh.
And, sometimes temporary means 70-something years. So it's finally kind of a homecoming for them, because it was the original location of the Hayes City Jail back when Hayes was founded as well. So I'm calling it a homecoming for them. But it's going to be a great project. The county's got ideas for what they can do instead of sitting on top of each other now in a shared building. It gives us both entities, City of Hays and the Ellis County, room to grow, provide extra safety, extra materials and stuff that they need without a huge burden on anybody else. It's going to be wonderful to have that downtown.
Will there be an opportunity for the public to view it?
There will be. I'm not sure on the exact date yet, but as soon as we know, it'll be out to the public for a public viewing and probably a ribbon cutting.
Wonderful. We also wanted to talk about something that was added on last night, Colin, regarding the R9 Ranch. And as we say, I'm assuming that there is no news today from the Supreme Court, or you would have told us already. So we're still waiting. And the cities of Russell and Hays filed a motion yesterday to spur things along, hopefully.
Yeah, so one of the processes in all this is the transfer of the water to allow it to come from Edwards County to Hays. 3 years ago, I forgot it was 3 years ago because it's been so long, but there was an administrative judge, there was a hearing, and the administrative judge for Kansas said the transfer the transfer water should be approved. And then that recommendation goes to a 3-body entity from the state with individuals that are in charge of water or see over water within the state. And they're supposed to rule within 90 days after that by statute, but they said, we'll wait till the Supreme Court hearings decided because they're separate issues. So we did file a motion to, I'll use the word compel them to meet and rule on our transfer because they're not really related, the Supreme Court ruling or this transfer.
And as I understand it, 2 of the 3 people on the panel have changed.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? It's I think you said
938 days or something like that. There's been 2 retirements on the panel. So obviously we'd like to have the panel, hear our process, and they have all the information they need, just need to hold it. I'm hopeful. From what I understand of the new panel members, they're very intelligent. They understand water. So hopefully this motion allows them to, understand that they're not required to be withholden to the Supreme Court for a ruling, and that they can, by statute, hold this hearing whenever they need to.
Do you feel confident, Colin, because of this motion that it may further open eyes and, like I said, spur them or compel them?
You never know in this process. What's good to know is we've been prevailed every time we've gone through any of these issues. So, track record wise, we feel pretty confident.